Alrighty, Capricorns. So this is going to be your reading for January 2020. This is going to be messages from your spirit guides, which you really, really need to hear at this moment. And we're going to go ahead and hop straight into it. Please make sure you're using a level of discernment when viewing this. If you are someone who is looking for something that's going to be more personal, I do advise that you do get a personal session. And if you do want to book with me, in particular, my information will be listed below in the description box as well as the comment section, okay? So let's go ahead and get straight into it. What is going on with my Capricorns? What are the messages that they really need to hear from their spirit guides at this moment? Capricorns for January 2020. Messages that they really need to hear. So, okay, so we have the old woman card. So if you do have any sort of elderly people in your family, this could be a grandmother, this could be your mother, this could be... Really, it doesn't matter who it is. But if you do have any older individuals within your family, you do want to make sure that you're checking in with them as far as health-wise. Also, making sure that you are going to visit them. If it has been a minute since you've seen your grandma, called her, things of that nature, you really want to check in, because sometimes it's all about checking in on people more than the gifts that you give them or things of that nature. The most important thing you can do for anybody who's older in age is to check in on them and make sure that they're good, and make sure it's not about health, it's about their mental state, because a lot of times older people, they get shrugged off as far as having depression or things of that nature, and that's a very real thing when you get older. So you want to make sure, if you do have any older people in your family that you really care about, that you're letting them know that, hey, I care about you and I want to, I want to see you, things of that nature. Okay. Some of you, I feel like there's a situation as well. This could be a situation that's been going on for years that you've been really entertaining, and it's been kind of making you really, really tired. Okay. For a lot of you, it's like you're growing gray hairs and shit. Okay. Almost growing gray hairs for some of you, because of the fact that you overstress about a situation, and it's just putting you in a whirlwind of just being like, well, what the heck do I do with this? For a lot of you, what I will say is sit on it, really think about this situation from a drawn back perspective so that you can really see things for what it is with this. Okay. Let's pull some more cards. Let's see. Capricorns, January 2020 messages they need to hear. We have pleasure seekers. Okay, so with this, you could have, if you do have children, make sure you understand that they're children. For some of you, if it's like, okay, you have some children that are just a little unruly at this moment, understand there's a reason why, because they're kids. When you're younger, you don't understand the importance of your parents and things of that nature. You don't understand what exactly they mean to you until you get older, and you can look back and be like, dang, I really should have did this. I really should have did that when I was a child to make my parent feel better, things of that nature. So if you do have children that are like in their teenage years, you feel like sometimes they give you a little bit of trouble, understand it's because they're young. It's not anything where, they're trying to disobey you blatantly, to a sense where they're just like trying to ruin the relationship between you and them. It's just more of, they're young and they don't understand the importance of respecting adults sometimes. Okay. Now moving on from that, for some of you, if you're in a relationship and you feel as if like, and this is for my females out there, if you're dealing with a man who may be more interested in going out and being on the social scene, for some of you, you do need to check in with yourself about whether or not you can actually allow that to be. If that's something that you don't care for, and you feel like it's going to ruin the relationship, you do need to nip it in the bud before it becomes a bigger issue than what it needs to be. For a lot of you as well, this is about you guys making sure that you have more fun with your spouse. For some of you, if you neglect that aspect, the relationship itself is going to kind of run dry. Okay. Let's see what else is coming out. Okay, I have two cards. Okay, so I have reunion and I have friend. So for some of you, you could have a literal a literal friend that does come back around. This could be a friend who you did have a falling out with, and at first you may be a little unsure about whether or not you want to hear their side, but I feel like for some of you, you are going to be giving this person a chance. Others of you, this is somebody who you romantically were dealing with, and this person may try to come back into your life as a friend. This may throw you off because this person may be trying to offer you flowers or do little sweet stuff like bring you lunch or dinner or cook you dinner, things of that nature. And you're really not going to be sure how to feel about it. But for a lot of you, I feel like feel this person out. See if they're being sincere more than anything. Okay. Let's pull some cards from this oracle deck now, because I'm interested to see what blessings are on their way to you. So Capricorns for January 2020. What is the energy that's... Oh, okay. So we have a whole bunch of cards that flew out. Let's put that back. Capricorns for January 2020. Let's see. What's coming in for them and what messages do they need to hear? So we have two cards. We have protection and we have solitude. So with the protection card, for a lot of you, if there's anything that's going on where you feel like your financial situation is being threatened, or you feel like energetically you need to protect yourself, you may feel like you may be getting spiritually attacked for some of you. That's for some of you. If you don't feel like that's the case, then you're good. Okay, don't take that personally. For some of you, you may be needing to do a protection spell over yourself to make sure nobody's trying to do witchcraft over you. Others of you, this is making sure as well that you understand that you're protected, that you're always going to be protected by your spirit guides in regards to anything that happens to you. Whether this is like losing a job or car accident happening, understand that you're going to be all right. The universe is going to make sure you're okay. The most important thing you need to do, though, is protect yourself from things that you blatantly know are just a mess. Okay. This is people, again, who you have around you who don't bring nothing but trouble. This is staying away from that. All right. Now, moving beyond that, I do have the solitude card. So this is all about you also taking some time for yourself. If you're the type of person to always roam in a group, I have the pleasure seekers card. If you're a male, you may always be around certain individuals to the point where it's like you don't have time for your own self to really consider what your dreams are and where you're going in life. Okay. Make sure you're not getting caught up in other people's wave. Okay. This could even be in a relationship where you're so caught up in the relationship that you can't even be your separate entity as far as having your own identity outside of the relationship sometimes. Okay. Others of you, when it comes to just your own personal journey, a lot of you need to take some time for yourself to figure some things out. If you have already been the type of person to isolate yourself, this is saying that you guys really need to quiet your mind more than anything and really focus in on what you guys are trying to do moving forward. Okay, so we have adventures. So for a lot of you, yes, you need to step out of the norm and actually do something new here. Okay, this is testing yourself to go in a new direction, trying a new approach to things. And for a lot of you, there could even be some travel that's coming up for you. You could be going to like on a cruise or something like that, or for a lot of you, there could just be some wild adventures that do come up this month where it's like, whoa, 2020 just started. What the fuck? Okay. For a lot of you, you could have already been on a wild adventure with somebody. And it's just like you're wanting to finally come to a place of nirvana, or you guys being on the same page a little bit. All right. Now, the last card I'm going to pull from this deck, I have forgiveness. So for a lot of you, there's going to be an instance where you guys are going to have to really forgive a situation that you've had some trials and tribulations with. Understand that beyond this, it's not going to happen again, especially if this is a relationship that has been super toxic and draining. It's not going to happen again to this magnitude if you're able to really see things from a higher perspective in regards to what you've been dealing with. All right. But you do need to forgive yourself for anything that you're harboring onto, whether this is you staying in a relationship that's super toxic for so long, whether this is you, marrying somebody who you knew you should have married, whatever it may be. This is you guys forgiving yourself for that. Okay. Okay, so let's pull some tarot cards to see what else is going on. This is a new deck I'm using. This is called the Starman Tarot. So what's going on with my Capricorns? What messages do they need to hear for January 2020? Capricorns, January 2020. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords. So again, this is overthinking. This is letting your thoughts consume you way too much. For some of you, if you just overthink things to the highest degree, I'm telling you, you're going to pop a blood vessel, okay? Definitely make sure that you're watching your thought process and what exactly you're absorbing. Are you around people who are inciting this anxiety? Is it... like what is it exactly, excuse me, that's making you overthink to the point where you're stressing yourself the hell out? Okay, for some of you, what I will say is make sure, for some of you, you're having like really bad nightmares. For some of you, you could be having like you could be going through a spiritual awakening right now. And it could also be impacting your sleeping patterns as well. So for a lot of you, what I will say is, again, make sure before you go to bed that you try a deep sleep meditation process to help you fall asleep a lot smoother. Okay, what else do my Capricorns need to hear? We have the Six of Pentacles. For some of you, you're worrying about money. You're overstressing about money. You could be feeling like you're spending more than what you're making, or you're waiting for a blessing to come in financially. This could be a better paying job. This could be a raise. This could be a bonus. But for a lot of you, if you aren't praying for some sort of change in your financial situation, it's time for you to start praying for it. It's time for you to start asking your ancestors for it. Okay. If there's a relationship that's not equal, where you're giving more energy and effort into the relationship than the other person, it's time for you to reevaluate what exactly you're dealing with here. What's the next card? So we have, okay, so 3 cards came out. I have the Eight of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Four of Wands. So for a lot of you, this is all about you guys needing to be more forward focused. Like, I feel like intuitively you guys know that you need to continue to work on the foundation that you're working, like your foundation financially that you're working on. But until you like focus on it wholeheartedly, there's going to be stagnancy. So once you focus, things will start to flow and things will be a lot more balance. But this is using your intuition on when it's time to go and when it's time to pause, if that makes sense. And also staying determined as well. Now, when it comes to a relationship possibly with a Leo, for a lot of you, it's time for you to work on your communication. Also not holding on to things that may have happened in the past. If you guys are still holding on to that and you know that you genuinely can't put up with it anymore, for a lot of you, it's time for you to shift out of this relationship instead of wasting each other's time. Okay. But I'm going to stop right here. Thank you so much, Capricorns, for watching this. I really, really hope that you were able to take something from this reading. If you did, please make sure you thumbs up, subscribe, comment below. Let me know how you feel about this. Drop a butterfly. Let me know you stayed this long. And all of my information to reach me will be listed below. And I will see each and every one of you in the next one. Bye, Capricorns.